Tracy and Bourdais contesting second on the backside, and Bourdais gets by. Here's Tracy.
No!
Tracy to the inside. Contact! Remember that Tracy's on probation.
This is championship implications for Sebastien Bourdais.
The second and third place cars take each other out in the final corner.
Separate those boys.
I rode one of the root codes. Sorry to see you out. Tommy, you talked about it earlier. Absolutely no room for error on this tight road course. You hit one of these concrete walls, you're going to break something. Oh, Tracy. Oh, into the back of Bourdais.
And he knocked his front wing, his nose askew. Paul Tracy did.
Now Bourdais was trailing.
Are you running? Okay, Sebastian, bring it around. We are ready.
Bourdais had gotten ahead of Tracy.
That is exactly what Newman Haas wanted to have happen. It's not good for Bourdais, but it is tremendous for Bruno Junqueira. Paul Tracy's going to have to stop to get that nose reattached. It's exactly what you hope to goad him into.
Tracy will head for the pit lane under our third full course caution. Bourdais lose the power? I believe he did. His visor is up, and that's
down here with Paul. He's going to get the suit off. It is brutally hot down here, and Paul, I'm sure it's not only hot because of the weather. I'm sure you're not particularly pleased with what just happened on the racetrack.
I don't know. I mean, it's a 50-50 deal. I mean, he was trying to make moves on me, and he made a big dive, and then I squared him up and tried to get back by, and I was a little bit in there, but probably not enough. So disappointing weekend all around.
Not a good weekend, but in the championship, you still got 3 to go. You can hold on to this thing, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to regroup. We didn't have a great weekend this weekend. We need to regroup for Mexico and try to bounce back like we did after Elkhart.
Well, they've done it before, guys. He's got 6 wins. Don't count him out. Got a long way to go.
And this was the sequence as Bourdais took the position. Paul tried to get it back and got into the back of him.
And I hypothesized earlier if Paul Tracy was really going to drive like he always has, or if that was just a little bit of bluster. Well, that's exactly what Paul's known for. He drives every corner like it's the last. That's not the way to win a championship.
Ooh. My goodness. Now that's a brave man. Sebastien Bourdais is an athlete, but Paul Tracy has some size on him.
We're underway. In the next 300, 3 wide. One stage as they cross the start finish line. Sebastien Bourdais was jumped at the start. Junqueira makes it. Tracy in trouble here. And he's the championship leader watching spinning. Down to the race canyon regatta.
Well, Bruno got the jump. I think Bourdais and Tracy. Here's the replay. What happened? Bourdais tags him.
It's that thing again within a single file. It's unfortunate, especially with the championship and obviously team orders has been going on. I think there's been pretty issues right now if Paul catches up with them now.
It does.
Running to get out a gap to try and duck into pit road and then back out again. So the job of Nelson, Fleet, Verdheim, Glock, and Servia.
Oh, here comes Bourdais trying to get by Tracy on the inside. He may have him.
Oh, they touched.
Contact.
Damata in the grass.
Damata through the lawn, trying to get by Junqueira and move up.
But there was big contact between Tracy and Bourdais.
Damata did get around. Tracy's got problems.
He's out.
Tracy with a broken front suspension on the left corner. Unbelievable.
We thought the defining moment was the pits. It was turn 5. It had nothing to do with the pits.
So Paul Tracy, who won this race 2 years ago, will not win it today. Let's listen.
Still parking out there, dude. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Neil Mickelwright ever calm on the radio. One more look. Bourdais to the inside of Tracy.
It looks like he's got a pretty good move on him there.
Right rear tire only and have a good look at the car, guys.
That's the crew for Sebastien Bourdais. Talking to him on the radio. But, oh.
The car. We just go on. If it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Step nice and easy into your box. Right rear tire change, guys. Have that starter ready.
Bourdais on pit road. They're changing a tire. Right rear, Chris McClure.
The tire is changed. Tracy. You hear the thrust of the throttle, and off he goes. They were up in the air about 5 seconds or so and got that done. But an extra trip to the pits is
with Paul
costly.
Tracy on the pit box, and you've had a chance to have a look at it. Did you give Sebastien Bourdais room?
Oh, I gave the guy plenty of room. I couldn't have given him any more room, you know, and it was pretty, pretty unrealistic. You know, he came in locked up. I moved out of the way for him and gave him room, and then he just drove over the front tire at the exit of the corner. So, you know, we're out of the race, and he gets a flat tire. We probably would have finished 1-2, so it was a stupid move on his part.
Paul Tracy, obvious disappointment, and it is completely one-sided. He says it's Sebastian's fault, Jan.
Well, ChampCar Ranger race leader Bourdais makes his first stop on lap 34. Jan Beekes.
And we're going to watch both cars at the same time. Paul Tracy versus Sebastien Bourdais. Sebastien got here first, but Paul Tracy, I bet, is going to try and make a quick stop. It's a drag race, and Paul Tracy beats him out. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Knocks part of the wing off Tracy's car. Contact as they came off pit road. Two drivers with a lot of history.
And they're still going to fight this out. Bourdais is in trouble. He's got a right rear puncture. So the two leaders, first and second.
Listening to the radios of Tracy.
That's Neil Mickelwright.
Bourdais got a cut tire from the contact.
Wow.
Right rear's down.
We saw the two of them get into the drag race as Jan Beekes finished that report. It was almost inevitable. Remember what we said at the top of the show. Toronto, temptation and turmoil. Here we see it unfold.
Oh, trying to struggle the McDonald's car around the pit road, Derek. Drama here.
That's right, and struggle it is, because the faster you go, you stand a chance of exploding that tire. Meanwhile, Tracy
staying on the racetrack with half a front wing. Tracy, that car cannot be handling well at all. He says, hey, I'll take this one and make some hay with it.
I don't understand what's going on here. He should have gone right to his pit.
Now, will they let him stay out? Is that a safety issue?
I don't believe it's a safety issue. That's Kenny Seawick, the team manager.
That's it, right in, nice and easy. Guys, have a look around back there if you got a chance.
You can obviously see the obvious damage on the cut tire, but they got the thumbs up from the right rear. No other suspension damage for Sebastien Bourdais. So a wing for Tracy, a tire for Bourdais.
Okay. Bourdais gives up tons of track position, 9th now as he comes back onto the racetrack.
And Tracy's wing is still on the racetrack. Let's have a closer look. Tracy's short-filled. He took on less fuel than Bourdais. Now it's a drag race. Tracy sees what's going on. Oh. Tracy had nowhere to go. Bourdais chops right across on top of him and just slices the front wing off Paul Tracy's car. On board again with Tracy. Watch right side. Bourdais. You know why Bourdais chopped across?
The line.
Because of the yellow line. You have to keep two wheels under that yellow line exiting the pits. Bourdais knew he could not do that. He chopped down, sliced the front wing off Paul Tracy, and Oriol Servia is the one that's going to make out of all this, because Servia
needed saving, and he saved the car himself. Oh, what car? One of the index cars into the wall.
Tracy.
Paul Tracy into the wall hard, the race leader. He's lost the rear wing. The right side of the car heavily damaged. Caution for the first time tonight. A huge impact for the index.
You okay there, buddy?
Oh.
Yeah.
Paul Tracy indicating he's injured.
Well, are you hurt?
He's moving. He's taking the steering wheel off. He's peeling off his gloves.
No, I don't think so.
That was a huge wallop. It's obviously.
What happened? We just lose it or what? No, Sebastian hit me.
Tracy's saying he was hit by Bourdais. Litter all over the racetrack. Caution for the first time tonight with 42 laps to go. You heard Neil Mickelwright talking to Paul Tracy, and he said, I'm hurt. Then he said on the second call, no, I'm not.
He said more than that. He says, Sebastian hit me. Oh, he did. Oh, man.
He gave him the chrome horn going down into turn 3. Bourdais with a huge lump.
Now, what's the impact here? This is 200 miles an hour. What's this? boom, turns the car almost up on its side. And as Tracy correctly said, I won't say it like him, yeah, that hurt. Sebastien Bourdais, our championship leader, just wallops into the back of our leader, Paul Tracy.
Bourdais with damage. You can see it there on the front of the one car. There it is. The
that
nose
is Tracy's tire right there.
The nose cone scuffed hard.
Wow.
And it didn't look, Derek, as though Tracy had backed off or anything like that. Let's have a look. We've got an onboard view.
He was just heading
Royal
back
Serbia.
into the pits from the infield hospital. We heard you say on the radio you thought you were all right. Apparently that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit dazed there. I mean, obviously I hit the wall, you know, about 190 miles an hour. So, you know, frustrating, you know. I don't know what Bourdais was thinking. I was coming in the pits, and they listen to our radio conversations. They know I'm coming in the pits. And
they say they didn't.
Well, you know, they listen to our radio, so they can say all they want, but, you know, they constantly monitor what we're saying on the radio as we do to them. So they knew I was coming in, and what Bourdais was doing under the white line, I don't know. So, you know, it's a hard hit, and, you know, we come out on the short end of the stick again thanks to Sebastien.
Are you struggling to control your anger right now? Because I'll tell you what, Neil Mickelwright and Sherry Forsyth have been pretty angry out here.
I mean, what am I supposed to say? I mean, you know, he keeps doing the same thing all the time, but he seems to get away with it. So I guess it's you know, good for him and bad for me. So it's just disappointing. I'm just frustrated. So, you know, he didn't have the car to beat us tonight. I came from the back to the front in 5 laps, and he didn't have anything for us. So that was the way he had to beat us.
We're gratified you're all right.
But I can already tell by his expression there's more in his mind than just victory today after that contact with Paul Tracy. A fantastic victory, but I know that we have to ask you first about the contact with Paul Tracy.
Well, he was blocking, and how can I know that he's going to back off and go in the pits if he doesn't commit like he's supposed to? In the briefing, we were clear about that. We had to commit, put 2 wheels underneath the white line to signify to the driver behind us that we were going to pit. He never did that. So I was right behind him, and when he braked, I had no idea he was going to pit on this lap. And, you know, I'm just glad he's all right, but I don't even know how he can be complaining about this one. It's just, I mean, how can I just purposely want to run into this guy at 200 miles an hour? It's just foolish. So it's, you know, I'm just glad this McDonald's car made it through. It was a big mystery to me that we survived that incident, but you know what, sometimes you need a bit of luck.
Another look at what happened. Oh, one car way up in the air over Bourdais.
Tracy, that is Tracy, vaulted right over the top of Paul Tracy. They got wheels interlocked. So Tracy is off. The championship leader Bourdais is off.
His day done very early. 2 wins here at Cleveland. This will not be number 3. Unbelievable contact as they were coming up the backstretch. Let's have another look. Corner.
Okay, here's the big one coming towards you. Here is the big one. Trying to see what happens. Tracy and Bourdais. Oh, just as it goes out of the picture.
That's the Ranger incident that happened behind the big wreck that involved Bourdais and Tracy when Tracy went up in the air. Here it is.
Okay, now, whatever happened, Tracy touched wheels. I'm going to guess it was with Bourdais. Tracy flies right over the top. I'm going to guess they got squeezed.
So Tracy testing second on the backside, and Bourdais gets by. Here's Tracy.
No.
Tracy to the inside. Contact. Tracy knocks the front end off the 3 car. He's broken. He gets back on the gas. Bourdais spins the 1. He stalled it. Can Tracy creep home, or is he dead in the water? Bourdais dead in the water. Neither of them may make it. Tracy's done. Look at him pound the steering wheel. Unbelievable. Who's going to get second? It could be Bruno Junqueira. Tracy's done. Wow. Bourdais trying to burn out, Derek. He can't get the car to move. That's Tracy climbing out. Bourdais smoking the tires over there. Let's see if we can see Bourdais. Where's Bourdais? He's out of the car, and he's done.
He wants Tracy.
Oh, boy. Here we go again.
He wants Tracy. He wants him.
Is this a replay of San Jose?
He wants him. Don't touch him. Oh!
Now that's not something you normally see.
Hey,
Remember that Tracy's on probation.
This is championship implications for Sebastien Bourdais because Allmendinger won.
Allmendinger, your winner. ChampCar second. Dan Clark gets to the podium as the second and third place cars take each other out in the final corner.
Separate those boys.
You could see Tracy pounding the steering wheel. He couldn't get the 3 car to move. Bourdais broke something, I'm sure, in the drivetrain of the 1 car. He couldn't get off the last corner either.
And Tracy made it difficult for Bourdais. Bourdais on the Cosworth power to pass went down the outside.
Bourdais had passed already. Here's Tracy.
Clear. He's clear. Tracy makes a kamikaze move down the inside. No hope to stop the car. Plows into the side of Bourdais. Destroys the Indeck car and breaks Bourdais.
Now Bourdais was on the gas. He had power. He was able to run. He stalled it going forward, Derek, when he snapped it around.
Bourdais can't believe it. He can't believe what just happened.
One more look. We'll have an onboard view from the 3 car. Bourdais waving to the fans.
Tracy was beaten. He knew that. Bourdais goes down the outside. He's got more power. He's got 75 horsepower more. Now he's home and dry. Tracy said, I'm going to make it. I'm going to try it. I lock it up. Lock it up. Oh, bang. Smash down the inside. What's going to happen here? How can he explain this? Man.
PT hitches a ride with A.J. Allmendinger, who goes to victory lane today.
Paul Tracy, after getting hit by tag early, just on fire and on the move. Take us through your day a little bit.
It was definitely eventful. Obviously, we got taken out in the first corner, and clearly we had the best car out there. And then, in the halfway point of the race, we started having a fuel pickup problem with 5 gallons left in the tank, so the car would start to stutter and run out of fuel. And really, that was what set the stage for the end of the race. The last 5 laps, we were sputtering all the way around the track, and along came Sebastien.
When you're getting there at the end of the race and you're diving into the inside, I mean, did he see you? Was that the right move for you? Were you surprised where he was?
Well, no, I wasn't surprised. Obviously, it was the last corner, so if he's that desperate for 2 points, then that's the risk you take. I don't feel sorry for him. He took me out of 5 races last year, so I guess paybacks are a bitch.
Definitely true. What about the pushing? Were you surprised at the end of the race to see Sebastien come across the track to you?
No, but I'd like to see him come with his helmet off, and then we could have a real match. So next time he wants to come by, he should take his helmet off. The French guys like to keep their helmet on.
Of course, there's 2 sides to every story. We are with Sebastien Bourdais. Sebastien, it came down to the final corner. How did it happen?
Well, I think if there are 2 sides, I can't really understand. PT was obviously in big trouble. He was running out of fuel, but that's not an excuse to crash the competitor of your teammate. I guess all I can say is I hope that it was clear enough. He tried to crash me in turn 3 the lap before. He tried to crash me in the back straight when he blocked me and took the inside, and I had to go around him in the outside on the marbles and everything. And then I gave him plenty of room. I went straight, braking for turn 9, and because I was anticipating him to try and get me back, but he didn't try that. He just basically completely overshoot the braking point, got sideways and ran into the side of the Magnol's car, and I just, he was on probation. So on my side, it's I just trust the race officials that they'll do what's necessary to correct that unfair situation, because it could have been a brilliant day for the Magnol's car. We still had the fastest car around, and it's really bad.
Now, you mentioned probation, but yet you sprinted across the track to go express your opinion to Paul. What happened there?
I just told him, what are you expecting? What do you want from me? He was like staring at me like, come and get me. So I just pushed him because, he was asking for it, but I didn't go any further because he's not worth it.
Thank you, Sebastien.
Next time he wants to come by, he should take his helmet off. The French guys like to keep their helmet on.
Oh, that remark was an insult to all the French speakers, and it spawned headlines in every newspaper here in Montreal because of this fight between Sebastien Bourdais and his arch nemesis, Paul Tracy. And then, of course, when he got to the racetrack, there was boxers in the grandstands with helmets on also. Very much a love-hate relationship here this weekend. And Paul Tracy waved to his supporters. But then he got the Montreal and the Quebec hat because the t-shirts, as you can see, Chicken Little. And then, of course, the second line was Sugar Ray Tracy. And guess what he did? He used all those to taunt everybody, and he got the boos on a regular basis, and he taunted back. He was energized by the boos. And just moments ago, this is Madman Paul here, dressed in blue.
Nacho Libre.
Just a couple of seconds ago. However,
Tracy and Bourdais contesting second on the backside, and Bourdais gets by. Here's Tracy.
No.
Tracy to the inside. Contact. Remember that Tracy's on probation.
this is championship implications for Sebastien Bourdais.
The second and third place cars take each other out in the final corner.
Separate those boys.
Yes, they came to blows with their cars. They came to blows with their fists. And to be honest, they really didn't like each other. And one thought the other was always looking for the other on the racetrack. The amount of confrontations, collisions, and conversations these guys had was incredible. So we thought we'd test the relationship by putting them in the same car for a chat here in the Heartland.
Me and you were like, we were like two magnets that couldn't stay apart from each other. Most of the time it was like, at some point we always just seemed to like magnetize to each other, hit each other, and then like bounce off of each other.
One would stay on the side of the track.
Yeah, which was
more often than not.
In the past, my motivation was to get in some type of a conflict with somebody. Then that would drive me to want to beat them, and even if things weren't going well, I could force a win.
Yeah.
And it's so tough now. Some of these smaller teams, like yourself, your team, Graham, you know, are really challenging these guys. And I mean, let's be honest, with way less budget, way less resources, which makes it even more impressive to watch.
When I came back, I knew it was going to be tough. I knew I was not going to be in the, you know, top of the class, you know, equipment. And, you know, everybody all along those years from 03 to 07 until, you know, I left, everybody was kind of like, yeah, he's great, but he's winning in a winning car. And for me, it was a big drive to come back in a much more inferior car and a smaller team and to try and build something. And so much more satisfying to win in these circumstances when you have smaller budgets, smaller resources, smaller, you know, groups to go and stick it and kind of beat these, you know, big organizations that really should beat you. When you see me come out of the car, it's even more than it used to be because, well, first of all, it doesn't happen as often as it used to, and second, when you do it, gosh, you better feel pretty good about it because you just beat the best of the best with a lot less.
Yeah. Well, you lapped the field last week. That was pretty impressive. We were watching this big pack of guys, and I'm looking at the monitor, and I'm like, Sebastian's got like an 18-second lead, and it's going up like a second every lap.
Since they were just a big procession of cars spaced by like a second or something, I was like, all right, keep the spacing, keep your line coming through.
These sports psychologists and people try to figure out how do you get in this zone where you have a race like that and everything just goes right, replicated. Something like that might never happen again in the rest of your career.
For me, what creates, you know, that kind of feeling behind the wheel is the interaction with the car. It's nothing special that I feel that I do or anything. It's just all of a sudden I feel like one in the car when the car is doing pretty much everything you want it to, and you can go and do anything.